Hello friends, how you doing tonight? Welcome to my channel. This is Sherry from Turquoise Dreaming, and sorry about shaking the camera there. I am working on a mini challenge for Dear Julie and Cara Brandon's Facebook group, where we're doing the September Stashbuster Junk Journal Challenge. And so I'm working on mini challenge number 2. It's a challenge in the challenge. And that is to sew by hand on paper, like on a tag or a pocket, or I have a pocket here and a couple of envelopes. So I wanted to go ahead and today is the deadline, and so as we're approaching midnight here, I think it's around 10 o'clock, I have a couple of hours to get this done, and so I figured I'd go ahead and do it. This is a decorated pocket, and I'm going to sew around the edges just with a straight stitch and see how it goes. And I think it'll be really pretty with this green. I have some green. I have a needle here that I hopefully goes through this paper okay. I have not experimented, so this is a total experiment here. I've done a lot of sewing on fabric, but not, by hand, but not sewing on paper by hand. So it's a little bit of an experiment, but I'm sure it will be fine. I have a nice pointy needle here, a nice sharp needle, and some green embroidery floss. I kind of just have it threaded like this through the top, and have this little string hanging here, because I figure I only need one layer in this in the sewing here. I think I'm going to make straight stitches and then have a little space in between each one. So but I want the stitches to be big enough so you can see them. Of course, the little ones you can see too, but I just kind of want to do the big stitches on this one, and then I'll do something different maybe on the envelopes. And so let's just get started and see how this goes. I'm going to start right up here in this corner and kind of just start from the back and go to the front, all the way through, and just close to the side. But so let's just see how this goes. See if this works. Yes, it went through very easily there, as you could see. So, and I don't know if I needed to cut it off or what. I might, because I don't know how much I need to go all the way around. I don't know if I just, if I were to stretch it around, if that would be enough, because I'm going in and out. So I'm going to leave it like that, and then if I need to pull more through, I can. And then maybe, by the next one, I'll be able to figure out how much I need, maybe, maybe not. But let's just keep going here so this doesn't take too long. I've got other things to do tonight. I'm sure you do too. So there's our first stitch. I could see that if I were to measure it, say like this, I want to just see if that actually works, but I've got a lot of extra here. So let's see, let's try to keep it. I'm going to try to keep it right here where I started, and then keep going and see if I actually do have a lot of extra, or if it actually, used more with the going in and out here. So I think I'm going to have a big stitch, a little space in between, and then another big stitch. And I'm not measuring anything, I'm just doing this all by eye, kind of like that. But I think this is going to be pretty, This was a really good idea to do this, and it might become a habit here, because I think it's really going to be pretty. So let's just see. Let's see if we have any issues here. I don't know what they would be, but we'll find out if there are any. On the bottom part, I have another layer to sew through in the, with the washi. I've got washi tape on the bottom of this pocket. So, and this is 2 layers of paper I'm sewing through here, because it's a pocket. It's a book page pocket. So I'm trying to keep this where you can see it, but not too hard, right? I wish I would have done it earlier, and then if someone else needed to have some inspiration, they could have, but I just, kind of the time got away from me this week, and you know, just didn't get around to it. Got lots of other things going on. So let's just see how this works. I've got a word right here that I've got to get around. So it's kind of falling right where I need to sew. I guess I'm going to have to sew through the word. Unless I go over it. But that would be too big of a stitch. So I'm just going to go right through it like it's not there. Kind of like the corner right here. Let's see how that is. Okay, I had to push a little bit hard. So if you're doing this after I do it, be careful that you don't stab yourself, because this is a very sharp needle and it will penetrate and hurt. I know I did it with my awl the other night, and that did not feel good. A very sharp awl that is like a needle. So okay, so I'm going to try to keep the same spacing as far as from the side, you know, or from the seam here on the bottom. Okay, here's the side so far. It's pretty cute, right? I wanted, because I have some really pretty pink, but I didn't know if it would be dark enough to show up. Maybe we'll try it on one of the envelopes and just see. I just wanted to make sure you could see it, you know, like, because I have to put a picture. We're supposed to put a picture on the Facebook group page. And I noticed some of the pictures, you can't really see the thread. It's so light, I guess. So I wanted it to show up. I thought it just looked really nice when it showed up dark, but that's just me, maybe, you know. That's just how I liked it, you know. So everybody can do it whatever they like. This washi is a little bit hard to poke through here. And these don't have to be perfect, you know, this is just for fun. So yeah, this washi is a little hard to get through. I can do it though. You gotta be careful not to get your thread tangled up too. Because I didn't cut it off yet. That seems a little low. Okay. Let me hold it down a little bit for a second. Hopefully you can see it down here too. It might be easier for me to get through the washi. Let me turn it over like this too. There we go. Trying to keep my fingers out of the way. Okay, see, make sure my thread's not getting tangled up. Okay, just about done with the bottom. Now the envelope I don't have decorated, so that should go faster because it's just like I'm going to decorate it after I do the thread sewing. So it should be faster. I won't have extra layers to go through right now. I just needed to get this done, and I had already decorated this little pocket, so I thought, well, that's a perfect thing to go ahead and sew a trim on around here. And save myself some time because it's already decorated. Yeah, it goes through 2 layers of paper much easier than through washi and cardstock, where the word was cardstock that I had to sew through right here. Okay. Cool. I like it. Very easy, right? I've never done this before though. Just like, you know, there's things that you kind of would like to do, but until you do something like this challenge, you never get around to it. But when you do a challenge, it kind of makes you do things that sometimes are things you've been wanting to do anyway. So then you have a chance to go ahead and try it, you know, which is really fun. It makes you sit down and just do it. That's what one thing I like, one of the many things I like about challenges like this. Okay, so this is done. Okay, so what do I need to do? I need to cut it off. I have my fabric scissors here because it cuts thread better than my other scissors. But I also need to tie this. Let me see. I think I either need to tie it or put a little bit of glue on here to keep it from, you know, coming out. I wonder if I can tie this in the back. Would that be cool? Like as far as these two together. Let me take the needle off of there for a second, because that's going to be cut off anyway. And tie a knot back here like this. I think it'll be pretty, or even a little bow, since I have so much extra thread here. Let's see. Okay, why is it not tying for me? Okay, I think I need to just cut this off because this is getting crazy right here. Okay. All right, that might help a lot. I was trying to tie it and not cut it off yet because I didn't know how much thread I needed to tie whatever I'm going to tie back here. I don't know what I'm going to tie, you know. Did not have a plan as far as this goes. So, I mean, I could have gone and, well, that's a little bit too tight. Okay, we don't want to rip our paper. Don't pull it too tight, you might rip your paper. I didn't rip my paper, but I just thought that could happen. Okay, I'm trying to get this knot in the middle. It seems to be letting me move it around a little bit. And now I think I've got it really tight, so it's not going to move it around anymore. So I'm going to tie a bow here and just see how that looks. So I have so much extra thread, I don't want to waste it, you know. Okay. Trying to see where my ends are. Got an end right here. I'm going to make my bow a little smaller. Let's see, I think this is the other one. Yeah. A small bow. Yeah, I'm going to have to, this string is all right. It's not too long. Let me pull it under here so it hangs out the bottom. So say I put this in a journal. I think this is pretty cute. This is the back too, and this is the front. So you can see the stitching. It goes all the way around. Here's the back. You can see the stitching on the back too. And then I'm going to cut this extra string off right here. This can go on a tag or something, you know. I'm not going to throw it away. This little piece I can tie onto a tag. Because I said in my video the other day, or I think it was one of my lunchtime craft and chat videos, that I save all my little miscellaneous, I call them scrap strings or whatever, scrap baker's twine, things like that. And then I kind of would like to do a different color on an envelope. Let's try a pink. But I save all my scrap strings and use them on my tags. You know, when I'm making tags, I go get my little pile of scrap strings and use those up first. So let's do a pink one. See if I can get this in the needle here. This needle has a pretty big hole in the end here where I can get the thread through, so Not sure what kind of needle it is, but it's working out perfect. It's just I have a bunch of needles, some from my bookbinding kit and some I think are darning needles that I've been using for bookbinding. So that's probably what this is. It might be a darning needle, but it's nice and sharp on the end. So let's just see if we can do these quick envelopes a little quicker. And I'm trying to think of the stitch. I was thinking about doing a blanket stitch, but I really just like that straight stitch, you know. That's really pretty. I saw some people doing X's. I could try to do some X's, but on an envelope, I think the straight stitch would really be best, you know. So I'm just going to stick with the straight stitch. You know, sometimes the simpler is pretty. Sometimes the simplest thing is the prettiest thing. Because this is an envelope, and I might try. I'm trying to think of how to start this off. I might tie a little knot right here. Sorry, I don't know why. I just put the needle in my mouth. I'm like, okay, Sherry, you got to talk. I don't think you can put that needle in your mouth right now. So I'm going to tie a little knot right here so I don't have to worry about this coming through. And then I can sew away quickly, hopefully. Of course, if I could tie a knot, that would be helpful. All right, I'm just trying to get my strings going in the right direction here. Okay, got it. You know, I don't want to rip my paper either, because this is a book page, and I think it's a little, you know, it's got some age on it. This is from a vintage book, so it could be a little delicate. Okay, I've got myself a little knot there now. Hopefully I didn't cut that too tight or too loose. Okay, now let's stitch. You know what, I might make some smaller stitches on here. I think that would be pretty. Instead of the bigger ones, let's try that. So we've got pink thread here. I'm going to do a little bit smaller stitches, and we're going to see how quick I can do this. A little quicker, because I'm just sewing, like I said, through 2 layers of book page. And it seems to be easier if I turn it over and look what I'm doing on the back, and then turn it back over to the front so I can see the front, and just go back and forth like that quickly. And I wonder if I'm just kind of experimenting to see what and thinking about what the fastest way is to do this. You know, I'm not in a hurry, but it's getting late and I have some things to do. Things to do before I get tired and can't do anything else, right? You know? You know how you hit that wall and you're like, that's it, I'm not doing anything else. Gotta get it done before I hit the wall. So I'm doing a little stitch on the back, and well, I see that my stitches are different sizes now. That's okay, that'll be pretty. I'm gonna try to make them a little smaller though. I did want to make them smaller. What is this? Somehow I got an extra piece of thread in there. Must have been hanging onto this thread. Okay. Okay, so I want to try something. That's what I was thinking of at the beginning. I was like, I wonder if I can try something. I just don't want to rip my paper because it's, you know, it's going well like this. And if I try something and then I end up ripping my paper, I'm not going to be happy about that. Let me get one more here. See, this was a book page that wasn't, I had made these into envelopes, but I did not seal the sides. I kind of was just saving it for when I want to put it into a journal, and I can either leave it open, I can glue it, I can sew it on a sewing machine. You know, there's so many options. If you leave it open sometimes, you have that option of different things to do when you do put it into a journal. So what I want to try is to go like, okay, so I'm trying not to make these stitches too big, but I want to see if I can kind of weave this needle here and get a bunch of stitches done at one time. I'm going to try that with just a couple and see if it works, because I do not, like I said, want to rip my little paper here, because then I'll have to start over pretty much, because this will be ruined. Okay, that worked so far. Just got to be careful not to get a knot in your thread as you're pulling it through. So that worked. I got 2 stitches done at one time, but it felt like I was a little bit afraid my paper is going to rip. I want to try it again. This is not that long of a needle, so I wouldn't be able to do that many anyway. Like I could do probably about 4. Well, let's see what it feels like though. See, it feels like when I push back up, it almost feels like it's going to rip. I'm going to do 3 and then I'm not going to do it anymore, because if it rips, I'll be unhappy. I'd rather, but it really works well actually. Can you see that? Maybe I'll just stick to 2. It's working very well. So it kind of helps you get your stitches even too, because you kind of go in and out right there, right then and there. So that I have 3 holes there to go through. I like it because it's just a different element, you know, something different. I mean, I do a lot of sewing with my sewing machine, but I hadn't really done any hand stitching, and of course this is a lot slower, so you know that's probably why. But it is kind of fun to maybe do this once in a while. It could be a good TV craft. You know, take a bunch of these out if you're going to watch TV and just stitch away while you're watching TV, or if you're on vacation or at work. This may become one of my lunchtime crafts sessions, because I do have a bunch of these made, these book pages just folded like this without being, you know, fastened in any way on the sides. So okay, so we're going up now. I'm going to keep with the 2 or 3 stitches, because I think that's going a little faster. I mean, maybe it's my imagination, but I think it's going a little faster, you know. So, and then when we get to the top, I might go all the way around the flap. I don't know, I haven't decided yet. But after this, I'll stop, because you're gonna have the general idea. If you haven't done this before, you'll have the general idea. I just put myself, but you'll have the general idea. So, okay, and then I can decorate this envelope off camera, I guess, and submit my little pictures and meet my deadline of today before midnight. Okay, I'm at the top after this little group of, after I pull this through, I'll be at the top now. So this is what it looks like right now. So I could go around. This is a piece that was separate. You know, I didn't cut this off, but I think I have enough to go around the flap. So I think that could be cool. I just have to be careful, because the flap, of course, has to go up and down. So how is that going to be? Let's see. If it's tight here and it goes up and down, that should be all right. Okay, I'm going to go for it. And so now we're sewing through 1 layer. Let's see what it feels like as far as strength and ripping so far. Well, that just came out. I'm kind of afraid to, because it's only 1 layer, I'm afraid to do like I was doing with the weaving. It's so much more delicate. So that's something to think about. Through 2 layers it was okay, but 1 layer you kind of have to decide if you if you have a stronger book page, you can do it. But this is an older book page. Oh, I'm doing it. I'm just saying don't do it, and then I did it. Okay, it worked. Okay, cool. Because that was much faster. Fast is good. Okay, I'm going to put 1 more here. In, and then go this way. See, it just ripped right through the side there. That's all right. It's the flap. I was trying to go 1 more up. I guess I'll just go over now. And it'll be fine. It'll be down a little bit more, but that's okay. And I keep trying to weave. I'm not going to weave here because of that. It just ripped, and I don't know. It worked that one time, but I'm afraid to do it anymore. So let's just do this a little quick. Sorry if I'm getting out of frame. I'm kind of just going all over the place here. Just trying to get it done and see what I'm doing, trying to be able to see what I'm doing. But I want to see what it looks like finished with the pink. You can see it's a lot lighter. I might do 1 more envelope before I submit my pictures and use some darker thread, just in case when I take the picture of this, you really can't see the pink very well, Even though in person it's really pretty. When you submit a picture, you might not be able to see it so well. Man, I wish I could weave. I'm going to weave again because it's so much faster. I'm just keeping it straight so it doesn't rip. Fast is good. Sometimes. See? Got all that done. Okay. Yeah, I'm trying not to bend the paper is what I'm doing so it doesn't rip. So just kind of going straight through. Hopefully you can see that. See, I just kind of went straight through without pushing up and down on the paper or twisting the paper too much so it wouldn't rip. So I got all those stitches done in a nice straight line. See, when I was doing 1 at a time, it wasn't so straight. But when I do that weave, nice and straight. So that's good to know. See, I'm kind of learning. I've never, like I said, done hand stitching on paper, so very interesting. So I like that when you weave it, it helps you keep your stitches straight. I did not realize that until, I tried it. Did not realize how that would happen. Okay, so this is going to be my last stitch on this one. And let's see. So I've got my knot right here. I think I'm kind of remembering my embroidery from when I think I did embroidery when I was a teenager and a little girl. And you kind of just tie a little knot, like this. Well, my needle came off. But I got through that thread before my needle came off. And then I'm going to just do a knot like that. So that's a little, see, I had that big knot I made at first there, but if I hadn't done that, if I had done it like this, it would be a little neater. So I've got it, see if you still have your needle on there, you can make another little knot, because now it's kind of a loose knot. And I need a tight knot, so let me just put this back in here real quick. And if I make 1 more knot there, it'll be tight. So see, I just got my thread back on my needle. I don't need that much in there though. Okay, because it's gotta go through here. Well, let's see how I want to do this. Yeah, I want to go one more time around through the thread here, like that's sewn onto the envelope, and then back through to make a knot. And then I have like a double knot, so it should be tight now. And this is a little, you know, it might be a little crazy because it's my first time doing this, sewing by hand on paper. But next time I'll make it neater. It's just a little lumpy there, but I think it's pretty, you know. I mean, it's pink on kind of that rusticness of the book page, you know, and vintage, and then you've got the pretty pink on there. So it'll be like this. It folds, it still folds. Here's the back, how the flap looks in the back. And then here's the front, which I'll decorate. And then here's our pocket with the green thread. Green on the front. You see it good? And then here's the back. So I will see you all next time. I'm going to finish these and I'll put pictures in the Facebook group. And thank you for watching tonight and happy crafting.